Namaste students, welcome back to the Web Technology Learning video series. We have started on HTML and covered few lessons, some fundamentals. Today we will be covering a very important topic of HTML, which is tables. Tables are very popular means of showing information, communicating data to the user. HTML has tables in HTML uses tables in two ways. One is to present structural data, which is the way that most of us are used to. Tables are in rows and columns, something like a matrix, if you will, and that is one common way. But then HTML does not restrict us to use tables only for data, which is where tables are predominantly used even today for structuring the HTML content within a web page so that it can be displayed the way that the developer wants it. We'll be covering the first aspect of it today. You can see the table, there is a sample table on display on the screen. The table is essentially data of lot of students, few students that is anyway. The table has the details of name, age, class, town and mobile for each of the students. There is a sample data for about 3 students. The table has a caption as well. This is a representative table, and let's see how HTML has this table information coded. The caption for a table is done using the caption tag, and as you must be already familiar, everything in HTML, whatever that we want to do, has to do with the tags. So we have a table, we have a tag rather, for every purpose that we want. We have a tag for a heading, we have a tag for a paragraph, we have a tag for an image, and so on and so forth. Even for tables, if we want to show information in a tabular fashion, we have to use tags. The fundamental tag for a table is obviously called a table. We will see that once when we are doing the examples. But let's see how the individual elements of a table are mapped to HTML tags. The student data, which is the heading of the table in our colloquial way, is called a caption in HTML and is encoded with a caption tag. The caption tag is a paired tag, and whatever is there in the between the beginning and the end tag of the table, caption tag is the caption as understood by HTML. So that is by default put on the middle top of the table by the browsers or the clients. However, this default positioning can be changed using styling. You will know when we do CSS. But by default, if we don't specify anything for the caption of the table is centered on the top of the table. The next important thing is the table header. Table header is an individual element. It's not talking about the entire header row. So each of the headings on the table, the column headings that is the name, age, class, town and mobile in this example, they are all to be encoded in a th tag. So each of these elements is to be encoded in a th tag. The th tag is a paired tag. So th name, closing tag of th, and then beginning tag of th, age, and then the ending tag of th likewise. So that is how we encode a heading or a header row in a table. Note that the table header is not mandatory all the time. Some tables don't need to have headings, and in which case the heading is can be optional. We don't need to use the th tags in our table. The predominantly used tag in a table for HTML is the table row tag, which is the tr tag. Each row in a table has to be encoded within a tr tag. Tr tag is a paired tag. So the beginning of the table row tag, then the row data. We will talk about what is a row data. and then the closing tag of a table row, tr tag. We'll see an example if this is confusing. Now, the row by itself does not mean anything, right? We have to actually specify the data in the row. So the data in each row is divided into cells. For example, the very first row after the heading row has the data ABC in the first cell, 12 in the second cell, 7 in the third cell, Hyderabad in the fourth cell, and some cell number in the last cell. There are about 5 cells in this row. Each of the data in the cell is to be encoded in the TD tag, which stands for table data. So whatever we call as a cell in the regular speech, in HTML is called a table data. So TD. So the TD tag is the one that we use to encode the data in each cell. So beginning TD tag ABC, ending TD tag, beginning TD tag 12, ending TD tag. So likewise we'll have 5 TD tags in the row, and these all 5 of these 5 TD tags is to be enclosed in a table row tag, which is a tr tag. We need to have as many rows as we want in the table so that the data can be displayed properly. So far, if you have understood whatever I have been presenting so far, there are a couple of things that I purposefully did not say. One, when we say tables in the regular context, in a regular world, we have rows and columns. That is how we have learned tables. The tables have rows and columns. However, in HTML, there is no notion of a column. Okay, so there are rows and there are cells. Even the header row is actually a row which, instead of having the TD cells inside, will have TH cells. So that's a differentiation between the heading the cell and the data cell. But otherwise, even the header row is actually a row. There is no notion of a column. So that is one difference. You should be very clear on this. There is no notion of a column. There are only rows and cells. Now, the second important point that you should remember is, in a table, in our regular world, the number of columns in each row are same. Okay, so we will not have a table which has 5 columns in the first row but only 2 columns in the second row. However, because there is no notion of a column in HTML, the number of cells in each row can be different. So we can have 5 cells in the first row, only 4 cells in the second row, only 2 cells in the third row, but 6 cells in the fourth row, and so on and so forth. This looks really weird, right? It is true, it is weird. However, this is a possibility in HTML. Now, how does the browser know how to calculate the width of the table? So it will do its best effort calculations to show the data reasonably. But if we have different number of cells in each of the rows, then the display is not guaranteed. In some advanced form of HTML, you will learn that there is a span element which can say that this particular table data should span across 2 columns in a roundable table. So that is how we can control the width of each cell. But then the important point that you should remember today is that there are no columns. One. Second, there is no restriction that each row in a table must have the same number of cells. So how does it get displayed? The display part is up to the client or the browser. They make best effort to make sure that the width of the table appears neatly, but there is no guarantee. Okay, so now so much of theory. Let's see a practical example on our favorite website w3schools.com. So the example that is there over here, there is a table of company, contact and country. um, we'll see this HTML table definition. This is the table tag that I talked about. You can see that there is a single row defined. It has three header cells which correspond to the heading row: company, contact and country. So these are three th cells, and then the row is ending. So this beginning of the tr to the ending of the tr is the heading row of the table. Okay, and then there is a second row tr followed by a number of td cells, which is 3 here, and the row is ending with an ending tr tag. This row translates to the first row after the heading row in the example that is displayed. Okay, now this is straightforward. There are 3 rows and each row has 3 data cells. Let's look at this example. So this is how it is displayed: table tr tr tr, and the same table is displayed in a on the preview. Okay, I hope this is clear. One thing to note, there is no caption for this table in this example. Okay, let's see how a caption works. Table rows, table data, these are what we have already discussed. Table rows and table headers. Let's look at what does caption do. See this caption tag. Caption is positioned right after the starting tag, which is the table. It has a caption beginning tag, caption ending tag, and it has some monthly savings as a text that is running between the two tags. Let's see how it works. This is the example, and this is the preview of the HTML. I hope this is clear. Now, the most important point while we discuss the tables is, in this example, let's look at the table data, this is where we put all our data, right? So here we have been taking the examples of having plain text as the data, right? In our most of our practical examples, we'll just put some text here, or sometimes numbers if you are talking about marks. However, HTML does not require that we have to have text or numbers in between the beginning and the ending tags of the TD tags. We can put a paragraph, we can put a heading, we can put any possible valid HTML tag in between. Okay, so that is how sometimes we see pictures, we see the page entire layout is driven by tables. That is the earlier HTML design, where the whole page layout is designed using tables. Most of the page is actually one HTML table without borders, so we don't actually see the table when the table is displayed, but individual cells have the content, so that people can put whatever they want to at the place where they want to. However, using tables for page design is considered bad, and once the CSS has come into play across all browsers, then people started removing tables for page design and started relying on CSS for the layout purposes. So not many web pages today that are developed today, I should say, have tables used for layout. So that is something that we won't be really covering in our class today. That's it for today. I hope you understood the HTML tables, tags, and how they are used. It's a very important topic in HTML tables, because we always need to have some way of representing tabular data. We have learnt plain text formatting earlier, but the tables allow us to display structural data in a tabular fashion. Thank you.